love that version.
Even when the page turns wrong.
Oh, and you stayed present and made it happen, so well done. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of Bloomington. I'm Dan Pikarski, and I'll be the service leader today. I just wanted to welcome all of you to being here today, and also, if you're online, thank you for joining us this morning, and we're glad you're here. Let's open your mind and let's do a sacred reset for prosperity. So let's join me in this affirmation. I open my mind and heart to divine flow. I remove every barrier of fear or lack, making way for the new life, new love, and new prosperity that Spirit is bringing forth in me now. So I invite you to please stand and join us in the first song of the day, I Start My Day. I start my day with love, I start my day with love. That's what I get more of is love. I start my day with love, when I start my day with love. That's what I get more of is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with joy, when I start my day with joy. That's what I get more of is joy. I start my day with joy, when I start my day with joy. That's what I get more of is love. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace. That's what I get more of is peace. I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace. That's what I get more of is peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with love, when I start my day with love. That's what I get more of is love. I start my day with love, when I start my day with love. That's what I get more of is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. All right.
Well, good morning. And if you noticed, we're not singing the same song the first Sunday of the month. It used to be My Soul is Welcome Here. Now we're singing this song, When I Start My Day. Because now you know you're welcome, and if you don't, welcome. But now we're about moving intentionally. And so we choose to start our day with love. Oh my God, Yara, it's good to see you. Start our day with love, joy, and peace. And when we do that, we then bring that energy. So I'm going to invite you in this namaste moment to put your hand on your heart to feel that love. And then on your stomach with your sacral and solar plexus chakra to feel your joy and peace. And then in that moment, feel your divinity, the God that you are, the holiness that you are, the perfection that you are. Breathe into that. And then as you move about a cabin, see that in each other. Tegan is here. Nora, you know where to go? All right, Tegan. Usually the tweens and teens, but I guess Michael and Augustine are going to have to eat all those donuts by themselves. But you are free to move about the cabin. Namaste.
Won't you pray with me? I invite us to simply arrive here in the eternal now. As we return to our center, the ground of our being, we feel gratitude that this still point in a turning world is the truth of who we are, the truth of who we always have been and always shall be. In this moment, we set aside our concerns, whether personal, local, or global. We turn them over to the indwelling source, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. In this moment, we prepare our hearts to be ministered to through music, community, and the spoken word. We bless our music team, our children and young persons ministries, and Reverend Minnassa. We hold space and surround them with our love as we prepare to take away from today's service whatever it is we are meant to hear and actualize in this world. We are grateful for this community, for this time together, and for the gift of each day. And so I let it be, and so it is.
Thank you, Joan. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. I am only here for God. Thank you, music team. Today, our inspirational reading is from Catherine Ponder's book, Open Your Mind to Prosperity. You can open your mind to prosperity when you realize the true definition of the word. You are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing peace, health, and plenty in your world. Prosperity includes peace of mind, harmony, health, and financial plenty. People sometimes reflect, since prosperity includes peace and health, prosperity is more than money alone. True. But what's wrong with prosperity as money? An important way to open your mind to prosperity is to deliberately open your mind to the idea that money is spiritual, that money is a part of your spiritual heritage. And now I'm going to wear a different hat. When my hands were emptied, when my hope was gone, I couldn't help but wonder, what had I done wrong? Though my heart was broken, There was no need to despair, 'cause a vessel must be open to put something better there. Into my empty hands, gently you poured new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand you needed my empty hands. So forgive me when I doubt it. I admit I sometimes do, or considering giving up, 'cause I cannot see the truth. I know I'll never go without it. If I only look at your deep and abiding love. Into my empty hands, gently you poured new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be, and I cannot help but cry. I think of the gifts you've given me. Now I understand you needed my empty hands. Thank you for my empty hands.
Bravo! Dan, that was so beautiful. I have had the privilege of hearing the man that wrote that song sing it. He used to come to the center, and I'm telling you, thank you, Dan. Empty hands. Wow. The city miser was on his deathbed. At his last request, he asked to be alone with his lawyer, doctor, and his priest. I know I'm going to die, he said, and I would like to take my money with me. So I'm going to give each of you $150,000, and I want you to each make sure the money gets into the coffin. It was a few days after the funeral when the priest, overflowing with guilt, finally confided to the other two he only put $100,000 in the coffin. I'm glad you brought it up, said the doctor, because I have also been feeling guilty. I only put $80,000 back. The lawyer said, you people should be ashamed of yourselves, stealing money like that. Am I the only honest person here? He pulled out his checkbook and said, see, I wrote the check for the full $150,000. All right, that's the way to do it. Joe is loving that. I'm just saying, right? He did put the whole amount in there. There you go. There you go. So have you ever noticed how we hold on to things we no longer need? An old set of keys we don't remember what they open, or a stack of papers we'll never read again, or a coat in the closet that doesn't fit anymore, but we keep it just in case. It's funny how much energy we spend holding on to what no longer serves us. And yet, in the spiritual sense, we do the same thing. We hold on to past regrets and fears and excuses and limiting beliefs, because just in case. We treat these inner barriers like safety blankets, even though all they really do is clutter the space. The beauty of that song, into my empty hands. When our hands are empty, then we make room for that new, that flow, that possibility. In an empty space, we make room for Spirit's abundance to flow. And so this morning we begin our journey. September, open your mind. A sacred reset for prosperity. We're going back to our theme for this year, which is Prosperous Living. And our focus today is simple: moving from barriers to breakthroughs. The foundation text for our conversation this month is the book Open Your Mind to Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. So I think the one thing we need to think about is that prosperity is already here. That when you pray, now we don't pray to a God outside of ourselves, but if we did that practice, we'd be like, oh, God bless me, give me the key. But that's not how it is. It's already here. Where is the barrier? Where is the fear to look over there? That is keeping the very thing, the prosperity in your health, in relationships, in your pocketbook or wallet. It's already here. We are as prosperous as we want to be. But what are the barriers that are in the way? In the sacred text of Judaism, Isaiah declares to people who at that time were overwhelmed, forlorn, and abandoned. The Jewish people had been kicked out of their homeland. They had been taken over by a patriarchal, fascist type of government, nothing that we could relate to. And he tells them, do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. Will you not see it? I will even make a way, a road in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert. The verse has a special, that's the first message I preached at my very first church, because we were in the desert. But that understanding that wild place that when you say, I want to be better, I want to grow and evolve, and then you have to look at what looks like the jungle so you don't go there. If you could take that step, your own divinity will lay the path. Well, there's nothing here. I haven't gotten nothing grows here. But if you would step back and allow the flow of Spirit, that rain would come, that water would flow. And where there appeared to be nothing, there is the capacity for life, for prosperity, and for flow. Now, this is not about denying the past or denying where we're at. Right? Say, well, right now, my bank, my money is funny, right? Or, I hate everyone in my family, right? I mean, those things. But this is, can you do something better? Can we release those ties that keep us bound? Prosperity is already present in divine mind. If you could look into the divinity that we're already as prosperous. Years ago, a pastor said, you know what, if you want to, what did you feed Mosey? Hey, thank you, Mosey. He quoted a verse that said, where God says, a cattle on 1,000 hills are mine. Every diamond and ruby belongs to me. How would we be if we understood that? Just like Jesus, they're like, hey, you need to pay the tax, right? Because the church people were always trying to get him in trouble. Like, oh, you need to pay the tax. He's like, okay. He goes over, they catch a fish, and he pulls the coin right out of he's like, here you go. Right? Because he didn't have an understanding of I don't have enough. That everything in nature is abundant. That even if I need to get a coin out of a fish's mouth, I can do that. It is that invitation. It's not out there waiting, it's right here. Say, well, how come I don't have it? That's a good question. A Course in Miracles reminds us, inspired by Rumi, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you and I have built against love. And so that also applies if we say, your task is not to seek for prosperity, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within ourselves that we have built against prospering in our relationships, in our communities, within ourselves, and financially. Prosperity is not something that we chase. I don't know if y'all got one of those Powerball tickets. I was like, well, for 1 point whatever billion, I don't even know where to buy the tickets at. So 7-Eleven when I lived in LA, but ain't no 7-Eleven here. Prosperity is not something you chase. It's something you allow. Are you willing to allow more good into your life? Are you willing to allow more love into your life? Are you willing to allow good to come to you? Right? We talked last week or a couple weeks ago when I was using the text, you are a badass at making money. Her whole point is most people don't feel worthy. So even if something good came to them and it stood right in front of them and had a sign, I am the good you're asking for. It's me right here. They would be like, I'm not worthy of that. Right? I'm worthy of not that. I mean, when I stand in this place every Sunday, I think, wow, look at the good that I allowed myself. What a healing I have gone through. I allowed the good. I said, okay, if I have to move and go someplace else, I'll remove the barriers. And here I am. Your fault. Here I am. So, Seb, I'm ready for the next slide. Here we go. So I want you to just take a moment and let these words sink within. I open my mind and heart to prosperity already present within me. I think it's easier to receive something if you knew you already had it. Right? If you're like, well, I'm just good, you know. In the old days, we're waiting for this miracle. We're going to wait for the miracle. Then it's like, how's it coming? Is this person bringing me the miracle? Is the miracle coming in the mail? Okay, no, the miracle's already here. Just get it. You know, I had to tell Gail, you know, she's a nurse, so all this stuff going on with her, and I had to just get Pentecostal on her, and I told her, listen, I know you have all your scientific and nursing nurse stuff. I said, but you have to make room for God. Be open to a miracle. Be open to the divine moving in a way that goes against science, that goes against what makes sense. Be open. Remove the barrier. I open my mind and heart to prosperity, already present within me. So now let's have the harder part of this conversation is identifying and releasing the barriers. What is the barrier? Say, well, listen, I have enough already. Well, I want you to have more. Say, well, back to you. Well, I want you to have more. I want you to have more love. I want you to have more health. You have to get a bat to beat your neighbors away because the love and light that's flowing off of you, I want you to have that. Because then, right, we'll get to Leanne's prophecy, 4 services. Be like, look, y'all just go to Unity if you want some of this. Right? I'm in the store. I came home and I told Gail, I said, dang, over the last 3 weeks that I've gone, or the last 3 times I've gone to the grocery store, I've spent $200 or more. I have never done that. But I said, as I put that debit card down, I said, I'm grateful. I am grateful. Click. What did you say, 214? I'm grateful. Click. Right? That I am grateful that it didn't scare me like it would have. I'm grateful. And so again, what are the barriers so that we can have more health? So, well, you know, people in my family, they're always sick. Okay, let that go. Release that barrier. Well, you know, you don't know about me. I just have struggles and I'm doing different things in my life. And, you know, I can't get a different job because, you know, I don't have a certificate or I don't have a college. Okay, let's remove those barriers. Let's remove those barriers. So Catherine Ponder teaches that the first step towards prosperity is cleansing our mind. Because, you know, a lot of people have this little formula. we're going to start a 40-day prosperity campaign, and we're going to have some affirmations and a little book. It's $5, so get your $5 ready. But you can say those affirmations all you want. But if you have barriers to the very thing you're talking about, it'll never come to you. And you say, see, this stuff don't work. This stuff works if you work it. First step is clean our mind. We've got to clean our mind of resentment, fears, and cluttered thinking. Those are the things that dam up the river, the flow of goodness. Like, I saw this person on TikTok, and I thought, wow, I think you've just gone over the top. He was saying that Taylor Swift is a bad person. Why? Because she's a billionaire and she doesn't help people. I thought, well, first of all, how do you know that? Right? She probably, have you heard what she does for her crew? Like, cuts them $1 million. So I thought, again, so she's bad because she's a billionaire? Because you don't know what she's doing behind the scenes? How she's giving money here and there? Again, stop worrying about Taylor Swift. Let it be the day that I say, Joni, she's a bad person because she's a billionaire. Right? I'd never say she's a bad person, but I'd love to say she's a billionaire. Right? We got to get these barriers out of our mind about things. This understanding, well, my family never amounted to anything. Well, good, you're the first one. I don't deserve more. I mean, John would tell me I can't slap people, so let's try to slap some sense into you, right? So he won't let me do that. Money is hard. Money is energy. That's what we talked about. We all agreed that this green paper with some dead president on it has value. That's why it has value. Now they got Charles on it. It used to be Queen Elizabeth and whoever they have. It's because we all agree that that piece of paper has value that it does. It's just energy. Well, Minnassa, I'm already retired, or I'm older. Okay. When Colonel Sanders started? Yeah, he was like over 70. Just saying, those are barriers. Well, you're black, so you can't do this. Or you're a woman and you can't do this. I had this barrier. I was feeling jealous of Wendy and Reverend Karen. They went to Germany last year and were at the little Christmas things. And I was like, well, those two old lesbians, they didn't have any kids like me and Gail, so that's why they got money. Right? That's why they got money, because they ain't had no kids. No, they have money because they had a different mindset than I had. They didn't have the same barriers that I had. And so, yes, again, remove the barriers. I think sometimes there's those of us who think we need to be punished for something. Well, you don't know what I did. And so this poverty or this horrible health or this is what I deserve. Oh, please. I'm just saying. Look at people in government. I'm just saying, if anybody should be in horrible health or punished, right? I mean, even people, I'm just saying. Just be honest. What is this barrier? What is the barrier to your good? Those words from Isaiah, well, this is the desert. Can't have any rivers flowing here. Sure you can. In California, we have those floods. Say, well, how can it be flooding in the desert? Well, that's because people build their house in things called like Laurel Canyon. The word canyon meaning water's going to flow through there someday. Don't put your house there. Then they get mad, right? There's always the capacity for flow wherever you are. They sang last week, Charlie and Anita so beautifully sang, I am light. I am not the mistakes that I have made. I am not the things my family did. That's how you release those barriers. And you make room for your light to grow, to flow. All those old stories, all those mistakes, they don't define who you are right now or what you can be. Prosperity flows the moment we dare to name and release the barriers. So I want to just invite you for just a few seconds in this sacred space where you are loved, where you are welcomed, where you are valued. What is the barrier? And it may be more than one. I mean, I'm like, well,
So today at 3 o'clock at the Unitarian Universalist Church is the kickoff for our community multi-faith book study. The book is by Milagros Phillips. It's called Cracking the Healer's Code, and Minnassa was the person who recommended this book. So the group organizing it, the Bloomington Multi-Faith Alliance, has already read this book, and the rest of us are just reading it now together. So today at 3 o'clock, the author, Milagros, is going to be with us virtually via Zoom, and she's going to give a talk for a little while, and then we'll have a question and answer, and then the rest of us will have like a little group discussion. So it's from 3 to 5 at the UU Church, and if you'd like a Zoom link, just catch me afterwards or let me know and I can send that to you. So this is just the kickoff. Then there'll be group discussions, and we have a bunch of information about that. There are several different churches hosting group discussions. There are also group discussions on Zoom. And we'll have the third Saturday interplay is dedicated to kind of embodying all this and playing with the material. So there's lots of opportunities, even if you don't want to read the book, just to contribute and to learn together. So
Thank you.
So on September 21st, which is the third Sunday, it's our 43rd anniversary. And so we will be, there we go. So you know what that means? Bring your yummy food. We'll be having a potluck and celebrating and really reflecting. Not many churches make it to their 40th anniversary, and we are already stepping towards our 50th anniversary. So come on out and celebrate and start thinking about what you're going to bring. That's what it says in here. That's not me, okay? That says right in here. So I saw Randy, then where did he go? Okay, Randy, we want to thank you for this gorgeous tech booth. Randy and his crew put it together. Now, I told Randy, I was on his case about it. I'm like, can we please have this done by the end of September, I think is the date I gave him. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it in 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, calm down. But he did. And so to thank his crew that also came out and took care of that, and to thank ourselves for the expanded consciousness to be able to bring this beautiful edifice, to provide a professional space for our tech team, and to get us set to move forward. So Randy, I don't know where you are, but thank you. So one of the things that I've been doing is having conversations with people. We're having a meeting so that the people that are part of the team, we're reimagining the service. And one of the things that we're going to need is for you to get linked up with us digitally, whatever, right? So you can go to Facebook, say, well, I don't want to be with evil Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, well, Instagram, he owns that too. Okay, that's fine. We have a website. We have a newsletter. But what we're wanting to do this beautiful time that we spent talking community opportunities, what we want to be able to do is say, check the newsletter, check the bulletin, go to our social media and find out what's happening, right? Instead of spending this time, because people want to have more meditation time, want to do other things, so we're making space. And so let's get digital. And so here's the links. Seb, will you please put this also on Facebook and Instagram so that way, and go to the website. Anything else? Am I missing anything? No? All right. Come on, Dan.
Thank you. All right. Let us stand and say our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's circle up and sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.